One of my very close friends, who I consider to be a brother of mine, split up with his girlfriend yesterday. Or rather, she split up with him yesterday. And it's kind of complicated because I'm good friends with her as well. I don't really know her on a personal level, but in 2024 we went travelling together, or rather we met travelling and spent probably the best part of a month travelling together, and obviously created some pretty crazy memories. I met my friend back in beginning of 2024, weirdly enough through Twitter. We were both very into crypto, and I messaged him about, I believe it was just like a chart he'd posted or tweeted rather, and I just told him it was shit. Something like that. And then we basically messaged pretty much every single day ever since. Pretty long conversations about not just crypto but life and everything in general. And at that point in time, beginning of 2024, I'd recently just split up with my girlfriend, and he helped me through a lot of that, whether he knew it or not. Just having someone to talk to online was, well, I felt very lonely at that point in my life. Probably the most lonely I've ever felt. I nearly just got run over by a fucking car. That was quite scary. I just slammed the brakes on. Probably the most lonely I've ever felt. And I don't think I've ever properly thanked him, because I don't think he's ever realised how much he helped me. But anyway, he's in a similar situation that I was in back then. And today it's kind of just brought back a lot of shit that I went through in 2024, because the way his girlfriend split up with him is almost identical to my situation I was in just a couple years ago. And it just fucking blows my mind, because it fucking stinks, man. Fucking stinks. And I don't think I've ever spoken about it on this talk before, but my ex-girlfriend girlfriend at the time, went to Canada, and she broke up with me just 2 weeks after she went out there. She was planning to be there for like 6 months or whatever. And in hindsight, there's various things that, you know, are kind of obvious signs, but you don't read into them too much at the time, because that's just, you're just stuck in a whirl of love and a whirl of trust. So you don't really second thought the oddities. And I can speak a bit about my relationship, maybe in a bit, or maybe in another talk completely. But it resonated, his situation, my friend's, fucking hell words. my friend's situation resonated with me so well because his girlfriend went traveling with her cousin and another friend, the three of them, and the exact same thing. 2 weeks in, she's been there 2 weeks, and she phoned him in a 10-minute phone call to say how she had met someone else and caught feelings. And now I'm no doctor or scientist or fucking whatever the fuck those brain people are called. Neurologists? Is that the right word? I'm not one of them. I'm dumb as fuck as far as I'm concerned. But what I do know is that love is a chemical reaction in your brain. You wire your brain to love someone. You wire your brain to trust that specific person and put your faith in them, and your world revolves around them when you truly love them. And those chemical bonds within your brain don't just fall apart in 2 weeks. It's a long process over time, and people who get into like short relationships and break up so quickly and are able to move on so quickly, I believe that chemical process in their brains doesn't fully occur, which is how they're able to move on so quickly. Or maybe they're not able to move on quickly, and maybe that's why they stay in relationships for as long as they do, slowly falling out of love. My point being, there's no way she, in the space of 2 weeks, fell out of love with my friend and then fell in love with another guy. Like, it doesn't fucking work like that. And it's the same case in my previous relationship. You don't just leave the country for 2 weeks and suddenly decide you're a completely different person and you don't need that person anymore. It doesn't work like that. It's a process over time, and perhaps she didn't know for definite that she was going to split up with me, or in my friend's case with him, just 2 weeks into a trip away from the country. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't have a clear answer, but one thing's for sure is you don't fall out of love with someone in just 2 weeks. No fucking way. And it's even more interesting because last year, another one of my very close friends, his girlfriend went on holiday with some friends and broke up with him as well. It seems like it's just the new fucking meta to break up with your boyfriend that you don't really love anymore. Just fucking go on holiday and then drop him a quick fucking message to say, I need to talk to you about something. Oh, fuck off. Fucking just tell me. Fucking hyping it up like it's a fucking Formula 1 livery reveal. I only say that because I've literally just watched the Audi F1 livery reveal, even though it's the same fucking livery they revealed like 6 months ago. But anyway. The girls have found a new meta. Go on holiday and then break up with your boyfriend. It's probably an age-old meta, to be honest. It's just manifested itself in a new society. I shouldn't just say girls, that's probably quite misogynistic. Nah, I don't think that is. Guys probably do the same too. It's just, in my life experience, I've only ever known women to do it to guys. And in my eyes, it's just, it's cowardly, it's disrespectful, and disgusting, to be honest. Like, in my case, it was a 4-year relationship that just got flushed down the toilet from a fucking text message. Like, fuck, dude. A text message. Shit. And in my friend's case, a 10-minute phone call. And in my other friend's case, just a text message. Like, holy shit, we're just... Fucking hell, man. It's fucking crazy. And I think there's part of me that still has... I don't want to say trust issues, because I do still trust people, but I certainly feel like my walls have gone up a lot since the end of 2023 when I had my breakup. My walls have definitely gone up, and I'm definitely more careful with what I say to who. And I've tried speaking to other girls, but it just doesn't, like, I feel like I'm almost scared for it to, like, progress, because I'm worried like I'm gonna get fucking crushed again. Because it took me a fucking long time to get my head around the breakup, and that's why I resonate with my friend so dearly, because I know exactly what his head is doing right now, and I know exactly what it's going to be doing over the course of the next couple days, couple weeks, couple months, and potentially even years. Like, fuck, his relationship was 3 years long. That's a long time. And she's not even, like, made any contact since their 10-minute phone call. Left him in the dark. He has 100 questions, and his family have 100 questions, and they're confused. And fuck, dude, it's literally just the same shit I went through. But he's had relationships in the past. I don't know if he's ever been broken up with, but I know he's had relationships in the past that have obviously ended. And I don't normally just give advice to people, because I think it's important when people are in a place of hurt that you just let them talk, and I believe you should just be there to listen to them and let them talk, get it off their chest, and just reaffirm to them that you're someone that they can trust, because ultimately that's what's been lost. He's lost such, like, a vital element of trust in his life, and that's what I lost. I lost that as well. And I don't want him to, like, feel like he's alone, because he's not. He's got some very close friends around him. He's got plenty of family around him. But I needed him to know that, like, I'm there for him. And yeah, as I was saying, like, I don't normally give advice, but because his situation resonated with me so deeply, I felt inclined to offer him some advice. And I only give advice when I've asked people if they want advice. I very rarely ever just give advice, because sometimes you can do more harm than good without even realizing it. And I just said, like, keep yourself busy, keep yourself distracted. I can come up and stay with you, or you can come stay down here with me. Like, just keep yourself occupied, but let the emotions flow. Don't just like sit around and stew on them for countless hours a day, because that's not helpful. But it's also important that you do let yourself cry and you do hear yourself out. Because I like to think of thoughts as though we receive them, not as though we think them. You can't stop yourself from thinking. It's natural, it's what your brain does, it's what it's designed to do. So trying to like suppress how you're feeling and stop yourself from crying and stop yourself from thinking the worst, it's causing friction which you don't want. You have to let it flow. You have to let it flow, and you have to let yourself think the worst case scenario. You have to push through that shit, because if you just bury it, it's only going to reappear itself in the future. So you might as well just deal with it now. Ask yourself the hard questions. Look yourself in the mirror and understand your situation. The reason it's so hard for me as well is because this is my first friend who I've gotten close to their partner. Like, I had a very good friendship with his ex-girlfriend. And it's also weird for me because I'm not going to take a side, but he's my brother at the end of the day. And I'm going to be there for him. If she wants to message me, she can, but I'm not going to go out my way. I will obviously listen to her side of the story, should she ever give it to me. But until she does, I'm going to have to side with my brother. And I will listen to him. And that makes it hard because I almost have to like realise that I potentially might not ever see her again or have a conversation with her again. Not to say I can't at all. There's nothing stopping us. He would never stop that. She would probably never stop that. But it's just weird because, I don't know, it's just a weird situation to be in. And just like my situation where I didn't see my ex-girlfriend for like 4 or 5 months she was away for, until she eventually came home. And I was just in limbo that whole time, waiting to have a decent face-to-face talk where I could ask the questions I wanted to ask and get a bit of clarity. And he's in the same boat. She's going to be away for like 4 or 5 months, I think. So I feel him. He's not going to get that instant clarity and those questions answered. So he's just going to be stuck in limbo, exactly how I was. And that fucking sucks. That really fucking sucks. That is a shit place to be in. And that's why I'm upset with her for ending things the way she did, because that's not a fair way to treat someone, to leave them hanging like that, it's a very empty feeling, and It's a feeling I cannot describe unless you feel it for yourself. Yeah, man. I might give him a call on my way back. On my way back to the old crib. We're nearly at the gym. I'll leave you here. There's definitely more I want to say on this. It probably won't be the last I speak of this. But I've said the bulk of it. This is not relationship advice. I don't really think I've given any advice. I'm just chatting shit.